loyal fans watching from home. Today, as I gather with you, it's with mixed emotions and excitement that I announce my farewell from the stage and have spent more than 30 years. This decision hasn't come easy. Music has been my life, my passion, and my connection to all my fans all these years. You've not only listened to my music, you have embraced it, lived it, and made it part of your lives. Who would have ever thought that a 9-year-old with dreams of being Laura Canales would be sitting with her fans and peers 33 years later talking about the departure of a blessed career. Although I'll be stepping away from the stage, my love for music will never fade. This tour is a chance for us to say goodbye one last time in the most beautiful way through my music. To my band members, through the years, thank you for the talent, your passion, and your incredible camaraderie. I will cherish the countless hours we spent on the road going from show to show, recording, rehearsing, laughing, and sharing our love for music. You are not just my band, but you are my family. To my amazing road crew, I cannot thank you enough for the hard work and dedication you put into every show. You are the unsung heroes. To the songwriters who have given me pieces of their heart through lyrics, thank you. Wherever we hit a wall creatively, you are always there to lend a hand. I want to express my deepest gratitude to the radio industry, program directors, and DJ personalities. Your stations have been the gateway for my music to connect to listeners since the early 90s. From the first song you played to the countless interviews and features. Your belief in my work has meant the world to me. Thank you. And lastly, I want to thank all of the record labels through the years, which I started in when I was 19, who have believed in me and supported my vision every step of the way. To Freddie Records, to Freddie, who's here, and Anna, thank you for being here, who have been my home for the past 17 years. Your dedication to my music has allowed me to share my passion for my music with so many people. And for that, I am eternally grateful. You've been more than just a label, you've been my family. As I turn the page and embark on a new chapter, I say to my fans, thank you for being a part of my life. Keep dancing, keep singing, and know that you will always have a special place in my heart. I love you. Thank you. And I will take questions if you have any.
Why?
Why?
Why now?
Hey, Mando. You know why? Because I'm ready. I'm content with everything that I've accomplished. I feel that I've done everything I could possibly do in this industry, and I'm so grateful. I mean, for a female in this industry, I mean, it's uncalled for to have a career as long as I have, and there's not a blueprint. You know, I just kind of had to tread my way and kind of make it my own and believe in myself when, in the beginning, you know, the only ones that believed in me were my parents and my family, some of my family. And so it's taken me a long time, and you know what, it took 10 years to get the respect from fans and from my peers. It wasn't until I wrote Duele. But I'm happy. I feel like I've accomplished a lot. I don't have anything to prove to anybody. I think in the end I was just trying to prove it to myself that I can do it. And that's why.
So just a follow-up question on that. Will you be doing anything? I know you're going to be off stage, but will there be other ways of connecting with the music in the future?
As of right now, I just want to concentrate on our farewell tour, which we're very excited about. We want to give you the best, well, obviously the best show because this will be our last. And so I think every show that we do, regardless of where we perform, which we're hoping to have a show in every city, it'll definitely be emotional for me. It'll be a one-of-a-kind show. And I mean, I think it's definitely going to be a show that you want to go to because it'll be my last. So.
Good afternoon, El.
Hey, Bumper.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Hey, do we have any cities already locked in for 2025 that the fans, I know we mentioned it, a
Yeah.
lot of people started mentioning, people are nervous that they're not gonna be near a city that's gonna be, that's gonna have the farewell tour. So do we have any cities already locked in for 2025?
That's another question, but yeah, we do.
Yeah, so next year Las Vegas is locked in. I've reached out to David Chavez. So we'll be doing that Friday at the Grand Valley. West Texas Blowout, Midland, that one's done. Chismosa in Lubbock, we're working on a Hispanic Heritage show. I think that one's in October. Monterrey, we're between 3 venues already. Houston, between 2 venues. The RGV, 2 venues. So the idea or the concept of the tour is to have one show per city. So if we go to Lubbock one time, that's the only time you're gonna see us. Laredo, we've talked to Belinda, and we wanna work on a show there. So that's how we're gonna maneuver the whole tour. I think the one that the final show for us, I think what we've been planning is the one in San Antonio that we're gonna do probably December of next year. So you're literally not gonna see us in San Antonio till next year, December of next year. And that one that will be the final show. And we want to go all out with all the shows, but that one's going to be probably pretty tough because
It'll be the last.
it'll be the last one. So
Yeah.
we have plans. We've already kind of talked to some of our peers, some of our artists to be there that night. So
Some
we're
of our
excited.
friends that we're hoping will be a part of that special
Yeah,
night.
all the duets that she's done through the past, and so it'd be awesome
Yeah.
for them to actually show up. Yeah.
That'd be fun.
And my last question would be, Elida, after 2025, so January 2026,
Mhm.
are you just gonna shy away from music, or?
I'm gonna go on a long vacation. That's what I'm gonna do. I think I would think we have a great work ethic. 33 plus years, but I'll probably do other things. I mean, I'm business savvy, I would think. I mean, I did have a makeup line. I do have a makeup line. I have Elida Reyna, which we're at right now. And I'm hoping to open more businesses, and that's really, I want to become, I'm already an entrepreneur, but I want to invest in other things. I'm an artistic person at heart, and so I feel like, the sky's the limit as far as what I can do. I love to decorate. There's just so many things that I love, Music, of course, is my first love. I don't want to stop writing songs. That's definitely something that I would love to continue just for myself, for keepsake. I mean, just put it away somewhere. But yeah.
Are you planning something special for the Valley or in Mercedes?
Yeah. We're in talks with the city to see if we can maybe come back Labor Day weekend here. I mean, it only makes sense for her. This is her hometown. It only makes sense for her to do the show
They come
here.
full circle.
Yeah. That was literally one of the first calls that I made 4 months ago. We've been working on this for 4 months, and I gotta say this. Out of all the people that I told, all the radio stations and promoters, everybody honored our silence, and so I want to thank everybody for that, because it could have easily leaked out, but I think it was to everybody's benefit that we didn't say anything, and to surprise everybody, and now that we can, I just want to say thank you to everybody that I did tell, because I had to tell some people, yeah.
Any more questions?
Hmm?
No questions?
I have one for Lalito. Lalito, I know you're an amazing producer. You've done a great job with Elida Reyna y Avante. will Lalo, will you continue producing other artists, or you are taking a hiatus on that too as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm gonna. I think I guess because my focus is just so much on what we got to do next year. I haven't even, honestly, Mando, I haven't even thought about that. I wish I had a secure answer, but I would never say never, right? I think if somebody gives me the opportunity to maybe produce a song or, I don't know if I would do a full album. I guess through the years I've been asked so many times, but my full concentration has always been on the career of Elida, right? So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. But my focus is on other things. To continue the business I have in San Antonio, that would probably be, my main focus, yeah.
Question, do we see like a documentary of your career?
I wish. I mean, that would be great. I mean, we do have we have a full year planned ahead, so that would be something amazing, and especially from a female perspective that we don't see too often, would be nice. So I'll wait for that phone call. Or if you know of anybody, JC, let us know. Yeah, let us know. We'd be more than happy to talk to them.
And you're gonna record a final album?
Yes, we're recording an album for the farewell tour, 12 canciones. Speaking of, we just recorded a song. Well, we've been working on a song. It's called En el Mar, and that'll be dropping within the next week or so.
It'll be on radio on Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
And that's actually the cover art for
Yeah.
the new single, that one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I do want to send a shout out to Jimencio, who's been doing our work for the past
Yeah.
6-7 years, and we give him a lot of ideas, and he kind of makes it like what you see. So I got to give him a huge shout out for that.
Yeah, thank you. He meant to.
Yeah, for sure.
I have another question, I'm sorry.
Sure, Mando.
So, you have a very talented daughter that sings and dances and
Yes.
stuff. Do we see anything in the future with her?
She is very talented. She plays guitar, she plays the piano, she sings like on a daily basis. I think this is from a mother's perspective, not the artist, but well, yeah, I guess both, because I've been on both sides of the spectrum. But I'd have to say that this is a hard industry. It's not an easy career, and especially for a female, 100 times harder for a female. Lucky for her, if she were to, which she tells us all the time she does want to, but she says, and I get it, she's young, and I when I was younger, I got into the whole, journey, and, I got into the rock type style, but I love Tejano. Tejano's always been my first love, but she's more into what's current, and so she says that if she tried to pursue a career, or she pursued a career, it wouldn't be in the Tejano industry. Although eventually, I think you tend to go back to your roots, which, but I don't know.
Well, the other day she walked into the kitchen and she says, "Dad, I think I'm gonna be a musician."
Yeah.
And you would think that we would be ecstatic about it, but because we understand the life, and actually we were in the studio and I told Freddie Jr., because we both have daughters that are into music, and I said, well, what did you say? I was looking for advice for that, because you want to be supportive, but you also want to be honest that just because her mom has been able to be very successful for 30 years, it doesn't mean that it's just going to be given. I mean, it's literally a 0.1% that you're able to sustain a career for 30 years. It's so hard. I mean, there's so many bands that we know that are just struggling to find gigs. So I you want to be supportive, but you try to be honest with her, also. So.
Yeah, we'll support her, whatever she decides, but she still has a year to think about it. She's gonna graduate this year, which is hard to believe, because she's already a senior. So.
That's how long we've been with Freddie Records.
That's how long we've been with Freddie.
Yeah. When Elida recorded the first Domingo album, 2008, I think, she was pregnant. 2007, she was pregnant. So the first album, Elida
We signed the
recorded.
contract first, and they're, oh, by the way, Freddie, I'm pregnant.
No, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the
And he
truth.
didn't hold it against me.
Yeah, and he's holding the
Here we
paper,
are.
and I'm holding the paper, like, you know. But yeah, that's how long we know we've been with Freddie Records, and so we've done a lot together. You know, we've done a lot, and the support has been amazing. And I do want to mention, you know, the support of our musicians, our band. When we initially told them, I think two of the guys were immediately on the same page. It's because it's a long process of doing all these.
Which, by the way, we want to thank Papo and Nick for being
Right,
here. and
our
they're back
guys
here
there.
Doing the audio.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
And obviously, you know, for me, just on the producing side, Papa has been my guy, my sort of second in command, and my second, hey, is this sound good or this is not sound? So we got to thank our band, Milo, Jacob,
Yeah.
Ito, for all the years, and all the bandmates that we've had through the years,
Mhm.
you know, including the original guys, starting from the early 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
I know you recently got baptized
Mhm.
to be a Christian.
Yes.
Would you consider doing Christian music in the future?
Yes, I would. Yes, I just recently got, and I think that was also another big reason for me to stop. Not because it's a bad thing, because I love what I do, and I know that of the whole secular thing, but I also think that because of what I do, you also get to reach other people that otherwise would have never heard about Jesus. So I always try to mention something at the end of my show to reach those that just need a little bit of encouragement, or they're maybe lost, or they need to hear something, or that know that God loves them, that Jesus loves them. It took me 50 years to find Jesus, and so to be here, and it just totally changed my perception on everything. And Lalo and I had already been talking about stopping the music, but of course it's hard. It's hard to just give it up, because this is all I've ever known since I was 9. And even before that, you know, my dad says I was already, you know, singing and dancing, and you know, like he said, I knew you were gonna do this since you were 2 years old. So this has been in my blood forever. So imagine not doing it anymore. But finding Jesus for me was the best thing that could have ever happened, because now I live for Jesus. I wake up every morning and I'm reading scriptures. I'm just, you know, and I hope to share that with otherwise people like Jesus did. Jesus, you know, he was drawn to the broken people, the broken, and the ones that really needed him, because, you know, the ones that already knew him, well, that's a beautiful thing. But for those that don't, that I feel like God is putting it in my heart one more year to also reach out to those people that if they haven't, like, I mean, the guys and all that, Papo and I, if there have been times where Lalo, you know, because Lalo's a driver, when we're on the road, and he's like, babe, I can't drive anymore. Can you drive, you know, the last hour? I'm like, sure. So Papo will stay up with me, and we'll have a cup of coffee, and all we talk about is the Lord, and it's beautiful. And so,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Thank you.
I have another question. Recently, I saw a post, somebody had posted, where you were reading a book to a bunch of children
Oh, yeah.
in a classroom. I found that really, really cool. Is that something maybe, you know, you have a year to think about it, but maybe give back? Like back in the day, we used to have, like Patsy Torres used to come to all the high schools
Heck yeah.
and talk about different things that are affecting
Yeah.
our children. Is that something maybe you'd be interested in doing?
I don't know about performing yet, but I feel like I've already started trying to give back as much as I can. So COVID kind of did something, I think not just for us, but to everybody. And it just really makes you see things in a different way because of loss of life and everything. And I just felt in my heart that once Lalo said, you know what, because we were living in San Antonio, as you know, Bumper, and then we decided to come back, and I said, I made a promise to God that if when I came back, that I wanted to give back in any way that I could to the people. And so, being that we do have Casa de Reina, we've had functions here, we give away, you know, like when the cold weather came, we were giving away socks and blankets, and then that's when I met Med Team, because Med Team had a function here. And I met Ademar and Sandra, and I loved how they gave back, and so that is how that union happened. And now that's what we do, and that is how I was able to go, and I've done it, I do it here in the Valley. You know, just the other day I was at a food bank convention, all these people that get together and give back to the community. That's what my life is gonna be now, from now on. Yeah, those are the things that God has compelled me to do. And I encourage my colleagues as well, I mean, that are still in the music, that we can still, which I'm sure they already do, but it's important that we have this platform, let's use it for a good cause.
Elida, with the Mercedes Enterprise, how would you
Hi.
like your fans to remember you and your contributions to Tejano music, and you see yourself mentoring any artists coming up?
I would love to do that as much as I can. I think it's been a very humbling experience. I think I am who I am because of my mom and my dad, and the humble beginnings that I come from. I mean, my mom and dad were hard workers. My dad was a truck driver. My mom worked at Hager, and Tejano music was always being played in my household, in my home, especially on Sundays, you know, when my mom was cooking and Johnny Canales was on. And that's how I learned to love Tejano music. But I would love to mentor, and I think that that's definitely something like Tejano music, no matter how or what or the future, Tejano music is a part of who we are. It's in our heart. It's how we grew up. It's, you know, the people that have grown up listening to me who are now passing it on to their kids. That is what Tejano music is to me. It's our culture. It's just in our blood, and it's something that will carry on through generations. And it's not going to stop because we're stopping. Obviously, we want the new generation to continue to flourish, and there's no reason why they can't. Did I kind of answer your question? I think I got off a little bit, but I'm proud to be from Mercedes, and I feel like, you know, I'm going full circle. You know, like I started here, and I think one of our last shows we're going to end it here in my hometown. That I'm so proud of being a part of. That's why I opened Casa de Reina, even though it's a small venue, one of our smaller venues. I'm very proud. You know, we're right in the heart of Mercedes and downtown Mercedes, which Lalo loves it when I say that.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers! That's right.
Yeah.
But, yes.
On your last concerts, do you want to have a special guest?
Yes, we'd love to. Whoever's available. But I've been blessed. I've collaborated with Michael Salgado, Lucky Joe, with Jesse Turner, the late Jimmy Gonzalez, Chente Barrera. So, I mean, hopefully we'll get a couple of we'll have a couple of surprises.
I think we the focus is to have, you know, mariachis where we can. I know we're planning something in Vegas where we can have a mariachi and do a mariachi segment. Because see, the focus for next year is we're not going to do any clubs next year. So that allows us to not have to worry about people dancing or not dancing. So when you just focus on festivals and, you know, maybe a few theaters that we might do next year, then the show changes, and now you just generalize on concepts. And so if we can do what we've talked about for so many years to do and travel with a mariachi, which is tough logistically. It's tough, right? But for something like this, it's one time, you know, I think we can do it. So these promoters are telling me, hey, let's get a mariachi, let's get this. And so I think to answer your question, as far as like not only invite maybe special guests, but enhance the show where we can. You know, and I think the fans would love that, especially because it's the last time. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
You have a question, Rob?
I love
think-
you.
I love you too. And Rob too. Rob's been part of our crew, and he's my cousin, and Rob and I grew up together since we were 3 years old, and here he is. He says, I think I'm more nervous than you will today.
Before we get too far in, I wanted to invite Freddie Jr. to come up. Freddie Jr. is the president of Freddie Records, and I've known Freddie Jr. for, oh man. Just a quick story, I used to run around the studio with his younger brother. We used to play G.I. Joes. That's how far we go back. So many years, and he's been so supportive of the whole company, his dad, his brothers, everybody at the company. So I wanted him to come up and just say a few words, if you don't mind.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for being here this afternoon for this very, very special announcement. Again, my name is Freddie Martinez Jr. with Freddie Records. I'm the co-president and the president of artist relations for the company. And I can't tell you what a pleasure it's been for me to have had the opportunity to work with this fabulous artist for 17 years. That's pretty incredible, because there's not many artist-label relationships that last that long. And taking into account that El's been doing this for 30 plus years, I'm even more proud of the fact that we've been along with you for more than half of that journey. So this is it's an incredible milestone for her, and I can't tell you how proud we are of you, El. The Martinez family, on behalf of the Martinez family and the entire staff of Freddie Records, we're incredibly proud of El and Lalo and the whole group for all of their accomplishments. 2025 is not, this announcement, this farewell announcement is not something that is supposed to be sad. This is a momentous and glorious occasion. This is a celebratory event that this is by far not the end of Elida Reyna y Avante. This may be the end of her touring days, but as they've indicated, we've got a new song, a brand new song entitled En el Mar, which was written by El, which is going to be dropping to radio next week, and with a follow-up with a brand new video in production, and the single will be dropping on all digital platforms on November the 15th. So we're just a few weeks away from that, so we just felt that this was a perfect opportunity to let everybody know that this is not the end of Elida's music. That's going to continue. The legacy is going to continue, is going to live on forever and ever. I mean, Elida, as she said, being in this music industry, especially for a woman, is incredibly difficult. It's incredibly difficult for any artist, but even more so for a woman. And for her to have been able to sustain, not just maintain, not just survive, but thrive for 30 plus years, that in itself is amazing. So. And along the way, I'm not here to say, by no means is Freddie Records trying to take credit for Elida's star. She was a star before she came on board with Freddie Records. I'll never forget, I got a call from Lalo, and like Lalo was saying, I've known Lalo, we've known each other for years and years and years. He used to hang around with my younger brother, playing G.I. Joes and wrestling and everything else, and I used to see them running around the studio back in the day. And one day in 2007, I get a call from Lalo. He says, hey, Freddie, are you guys looking for any artists? You guys thinking about picking up any new artists? I said, well, yeah, we're always looking for artists. He said, well, look, why don't we get together and talk? I said, by all means, let's do that. So, of course, we had that conversation, we had that meeting, and obviously having an artist like Elida on the label was something that I was thrilled about, thrilled of the idea of having an artist like Elida. As I said, she was already a superstar in this industry. She had already had her signature hits, Duele and Luna Llena, so she had already made her mark in the business. it was just, you know, the thought of having the opportunity and the honor of working with her was just, you know, really a personal goal of mine and Freddie Records. So when we had that conversation, we had a great meeting, and then the day of the signing comes along. So we get together and we meet at the office in the conference room upstairs at Freddie Records, and we're doing our thing and signing the deal, and then all of a sudden Lalo and Elle say, "Oh, Freddie, by the way, I'm pregnant. We're gonna have a child. We're gonna have a baby." And I'm like, in my mind, the first thing that thought, okay, great, that's fantastic, but how are we gonna promote, how are we gonna market the record once it's recorded and everything? Let me tell you that it went as smooth as could be. I mean, that is the sign of a true professional artist that knows how to balance family life with the business life, and especially as a professional musician, a professional artist, to be able to come into the studio while she's pregnant and come in and do her job at 110% in the studio, giving it her all. And then afterwards, going out, you know, hitting radio wherever we could, visiting radio, visiting, you know, with media people, and doing everything that's necessary to promote her new album at that time, Domingo, and not missing a beat, you know. And then of course Layla came around, and we always talk about this, you know. Layla wasn't even born yet when Elida signed with Freddie Records, and here we are 17 years later.
Yeah.
You know, Layla's a senior getting ready to graduate high school. That's just incredible.
Crazy.
And it is. It's crazy
Yeah.
to think how quickly time goes by. But I have to say that it's been an absolute pleasure working with Elida and Lalo and the band. Every time they come into the studio, they give it 110%. And at points to where I have to step in and say, okay, Lalo, El, it's time. We gotta let this baby be born now. We gotta let the song happen, you know. And but they're always striving, constantly striving to do better than the last album, better than the last song, better than the last video. The production has to be bigger. The production has to sound better. And they're perfectionists. And when you're operating at that level, that's the attitude that you really have to have. The competition is always tough out there. There's always new bands coming on the scene. There's, you know, legacy acts that are out there that are still cranking it and doing their best. So, you know, it's really a testament to their professionalism and everything that they've done and accomplished in all the years of working together. And I'm especially proud of the fact that you know, the two Latin Grammys that you've won
Thank you.
have been with Freddie Records, and also the fact that Elle is the only female artist to win the Latin Grammy, not once, but twice. That's a feat that hasn't been done by anyone else. So again, my wife and I, Anna, we're very proud and honored to be here to share this moment with you. And again, like I said, this is not a moment to be sad. This is a celebratory announcement event. They've got some great plans, some great things happening in 2025, which I know everybody, all the fans are going to be looking forward to. There's going to be some more announcements and a lot more exciting things coming up.
A lot more music.
Yeah, a lot more music. Like I said, we've got the new song in El Mar, which is going to be dropping at radio next week, so keep an eye out for that. There's going to be some announcements coming on social media starting tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. That's very exciting, and like I said, that's Elle's song. She wrote it, so we're especially happy about that. And again, thank you all so much for being here and for being part of this press conference today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Freddie.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too.
I think we're done, right? Or would anybody like to ask a last couple of questions before we go? But I just wanted to say I'm so grateful to each and every one of you for making the time to come out here, because I know, you have busy schedules. So I thank you so much for coming and being a part of this very momentous and very special moment or time. And
I just wanted
are
to.
excited about our shows that are coming up.
I wanted to mention, so the plan is to start releasing dates as soon as December, as they're coming in. As we announced yesterday, my phone blew up, and so it's just we got to be very strategic in the sense that we just plan to do one show per city. So we just have to be very selective on how we want to do it. We want to honor all the promoters that we've, and I wanted to say this because I already got a text message that we are going to do Victoria Memorial Bash with Frank. We are going to do Jim Luna, Rockport, Fiesta en La Playa, I think. That one's set for Labor Day weekend also. So these are promoters that we've worked with, that I've worked with personally for 15 plus years. If we have 10 promoters, we trust 7, and those are the guys that I'm gonna call. Those are the guys that we've worked with for so many years. So I really want to commend them on jumping on immediately. And as we go further in, I'm gonna be releasing the contact information on LR Music, Universal, Latin Agency, which is Joe Casillas and Pete Gonzalez. And we'll have all the phone numbers on our social media outlets. So I just wanted to make sure I said that, yeah.
Do you have an idea as to how many shows you want to do for the Fair World Tour?
I think we've talked maybe 20 to 30 shows. That's a fair number. Obviously, if we start getting numbers from Freer and Del Rio and Ozona, I got a call from Ozona, so we're gonna do a convention center in Ozona, hopefully in April. We want to do Puebla, San Luis, Mexico, Monterrey, of course. These are markets that we've been working for 17, 18 years, And Elida has a big following in Mexico, so we want to make sure that we go to those markets. Yeah.
So un saludo para
Yeah.
para mi gente de Monterrey, San Luis Potosí, Puebla también.
We had some people translate it, the message yesterday, the farewell. They translated it for us and then they sent it out. So thank you for that. Yeah. Any last?
So no, I just wanted to say again, thank you for being here. I love each and every one of you. A lot of my friends that came from near and far, thank you for being part of this special day. So again, thank you. And if any of you would like to do an interview, I'd be more than happy to.
I got a question.
Yes.
We've seen bands say the farewell tour, they're done. 2 years later, they're back. Is this really done?
I think so. Like I said, we're focused on the tour. Am I gonna miss the heck out of it or the hell out of it? Hell yeah. We're off for 2 weeks and we're already kind of climbing the walls like, but at the same time, it's something that I've been asking God I've been praying on it. We've been praying on it a lot. And we just feel that this is the right decision for our family. We want to, of course, put God first, which we've always, I'm just being real here. We've always put the music first before everything, and because we've been so focused on, what's next. But it's like, as you get older and you're wiser and you realize what the important things in life are. And I feel like I'm already at the pinnacle of my career, and I'm ready to just do other things and spend.
Unless you
more
got
time
the contact to the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome. Mario.
We'll definitely do that. Just spend more time with my family and my kids.
And what about social media? Will you disappear from social media? Or?
I was just talking to Lalo about that. I might for a little while, but you can't really do anything without social media. So I probably might take a little break, but just for a little bit. Like I said, take a long vacation and then come back and regroup. No, but I mean, in all seriousness, I have a lot of plans for myself. I mean, life isn't over just because music is over. There's life after music. So,
It's just responsibility. Like she said the other day, responsibilities have changed in the sense that, anybody that's in this room who's a mom or a dad or a grandmother is going to understand where she's coming from. Because you put for so many years, she's put, like you said, music, and maybe it was my fault too, because I was just always pushing and pushing and pushing. And then you realize you're only fighting yourself, that person that is like, that you're fighting is, you want to be better, you want to have a better song, you want to have a better album, a better show. And then once you realize, you know what, like she said, I'm content. And once you're content, then you don't regret anything, because you're satisfied in what you put out.
now, have you asked me that 20 years ago? I'm like, no, I still
Yeah.
have a lot to give and
I
a lot
agree.
to do, and I hadn't accomplished a lot of things,
agree.
but I feel I'm at the point in my life, in my career, that I'm good. I'm good. I mean, I wanted to be Laura Canales. Hello. And, and I feel like I hope I made her proud. May she rest in peace.
Just one quick
yeah.
thing.
Yes.
You said you're content, you've accomplished everything, except one thing, and we talked about it.
The Super Bowl. Yeah.
Well, also a collaboration or performance or something with Pepe Aguilar.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah.
Mando.
You
Good
know,
one.
So why don't you do that at the last show, bring Pepe in, sing with
He's
you?
got his daughter that he can sing with. No, but in all honesty, I mean, I would love to maybe, and we have been talking to some people that are relevant within the industry that are doing, not the Hano, but other things. And I would definitely, we would put that on the table. We've talked about it, Freddie and
We still want to make
Malo.
music. Yeah, we still
But we still want to
definitely
make,
want to
and
make
we still
music.
have a whole album to do that.
Right.
So, I mean, that's not off the table. Yeah.
So for the Tejano radio stations, after 2025, will we still get Elida music coming out so that we can play in rotation, or that's the last of that, of 25 and Tejano radio?
That's a great
Freddie
question.
says yes.
Yeah. Freddie says yes.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
No, yeah, for sure, and that's why we're trying to complete the album next year. And what's been great is that we've been able to focus on releasing singles. Freddie's allowed us to just focus on a single and release it. Focus on a single and release it, because now a 10-track album are full of singles, and then there's no fillers anymore. And that was always, it was like, we'll do two singles, and then the rest were just songs just to put on an album. But because of the way it is nowadays, people just want music, information every month, every 2 months. They want new music. And so because Freddie has had our back, he's like, come in, let's record it, shoot a video, and we release it. So it's allowed us. And then you get those singles and you put them on a record. So I don't know if we're going to do it like that, but that's the way we've been doing it here the past couple of years. And we want to continue doing that because, like she said, I mean, we're very creative people, and we have to have that.
We have to have that.
It's just the touring,
Okay.
That's what we're mainly, this is what she's talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Reyna thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the last 30 years, what do you think that is your most memorable moment?
Most memorable, I've had a lot, but I think at the top of my head, I would think doing the Divas tour, going overseas and performing for all these amazing people that they're giving their life for us to go and represent Tejano music. Like we went to Germany, we've been to Guam, we've been to Korea, we've been to all these amazing places doing that. So that was an amazing.
Maybe it's because you met me.
Yeah,
there.
and he's right. I met him overseas. Yeah, you got me on that one.
Don't forget that.
But I would. I'd also have to say Monterrey is beautiful. Like la gente de México, muy amable. Les encanta la música tejana, and so I always look forward. Cuando voy a Mexico, I feel at home. I just feel like that's kind of where I belong. I don't know. Just a sense of, I don't know, just beautiful.
I remember a moment in one time, and we played a show. We had just finished the show. It was so packed. It was a great, successful night. And then we finish, and Elida goes outside, she changes, and she's eating on the street with a couple of guys, and you're eating those lunches. You remember
The hot
that?
dogs, they were.
Yeah. And I actually captured that. I captured that picture, and I
Yeah.
shared it. And I want to say something. So on the next, a lot of people don't know that Elida plays drums. And so Freddie's been on me for years to do this, and we wanna,
Because I love conjunto music.
right.
And that's basically how I started, was listening to conjunto because
Yeah.
of my family. But when I started with Avante, well, they were conjunto-based group. And I don't know, it's just, there's a certain
She's got a
compás.
nice valley pocket, yeah. So we've already kind of started talking about doing
Maybe
because Elida, this is what happened. Elida said, this next record, I want it to be Tejano, I want to do mariachi, I want to do conjunto, I want to do Tejano. This is who I am. This is
Yeah.
what I want. Okay. I said, well, why don't you record the drums? And so we were in the Sprinter, we were with the guys, and they're like, yeah, El, and just to have that, sense of
That memory of.
that memory of and putting it out and having her record the drums, I think I get a kick out of it. I think that'd be awesome. We did it one time and we posted and we had, it was a great response, and it was just a conjunto song like a polka. And anyway, so knowing that, maybe on the new record, if we would release a conjunto song,
fun
it
to
would,
do something
yeah,
like that,
that's
yeah,
that's the
with the
plan.
guys.
That's the plan. Yeah.
Will we see that in the tour, in the farewell?
Oh,
Wow.
Sound check.
maybe. Sound check.
Drum solo?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I do it every now and then.
Extra fee, sound
Yeah.
check.
We do it like at, we've done privates, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'll get behind the drums. Yes, Mr. Reyna.
Personally, I don't think you're gonna stop singing.
In the shower.
I know what you're saying right now, but
Yeah.
Tejano, yes, you're into your Tejano, cumbias and all that, but I think, my
Yes.
question is international. Would you ever go international to record international song? Since you love mariachi.
I love mariachi. Yes. Again, my first love aside from conjunto, and I started with mariachi here at UT Pan American, which is now UTRGV. Like I said, as of right now, I just want to concentrate on what I'm doing, but mariachi, you're right. It's just something that I've always loved and I'll always love, and maybe that's something that I'll pass on in a song, and maybe a recording with Leila, maybe, or do something like that, pass it on to her. But right now, I'm really just, again, focused on what we're doing now and making this show the best show ever, because it'll be my last. Like I said, I'll never tour again. That I won't do ever again.
And you spend more time with your baby girls.
Yeah, and I have 2 grandbabies, so I'll get to spend more time with them too. So, yeah.
Hey, you never know, maybe Mr. Freddie will sign Leila.
Yeah.
Otra reina.
I know, otra reina.
Ahí se crió.
That would be
Gotta
great.
keep it going.
Gotta keep it going, yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Any more questions before we end? Anything you want to say before?
Well, yeah. So Washington, I guess we're gonna do Washington next year. Yeah. So yeah, these are guys that I've been working with and for the years, through the years for so long, and we just want to make sure that the tour is successful for everybody, for all parties, and ultimately, I just want to make sure that you're happy.
I am.
Yeah.
And one person, which is probably the most important, is my husband, who has put his heart and soul into, and he is everything. And I'm just gonna be transparent here, but he is everything. He is producer, arranger. When we started with Freddie, we started writing together, and it was just me and him. And here we are 30 years later, but just working with you has just been amazing. It's, a lot of highs and lows like anything, but mostly highs. I just wanted you to know that. Thank you for being my backbone and really believing in me, and I couldn't have, not have gotten this far without you, so I love you for that, and thank you.
Before we go, I just got to say that we were 2 albums in, and I've told this story before. We were 2 albums in with me, with Elida, and somebody from the company comes in and says, "Hey man, I heard that you got one more shot." You know, we had done Domingo, it was okay. Second album, it was okay. So we go into Fantasia record, and we did Prefiero Morir, and we wrote it. And after we did that song, it changed everything, because it was. And bear with me, Elida already had her Luna Llena and she already had her Duele, but they needed friends. They needed friends, and so yeah, she's got the Sigo Amando, Amor Eres Tú, Me Gustas, these songs that were,
Yeah.
but we needed bigger ones. We needed like Prefiero, we needed like Juntos. And so when you go to a show and you do an hour-and-a-half set, you want to make sure you're giving the people great music that they recognize. So that was that's basically what she wanted me to do, was just run the business and make sure that Luna Llena and Duele had friends, that they had songs that can compete. I mean, those are monster songs. But, I think that we were always so, we've talked about this privately, I don't think we've ever said this before, but that's why we were always so afraid to do another song like Luna Llena, because it casts a shadow almost on everything that you do, because it's so so big, but we've tried to just fill the set with other great material. So by the time you get to an hour-and-a-half set, people are not leaving, and that was my job, and I always wanted it to. That was my job for her, and but I always remember that, and all it did was just pushed me, and we won a Grammy. That was our first Grammy.
Yeah.
That was our first Grammy. Yeah, and then we did Juntos Hasta Morir with Turner. And it was even bigger, So now we, Adicta and
You kind of got
Suavecito. Yeah, I think we're content. I'm content. I'm very happy. Yeah.
I just wanted to change the subject real quick. I forgot to mention that we're also adding members in next year's.
Oh yeah.
Next year's tour. We will have a backup vocalist as well. Christina Salinas will be our background vocalist.
And Myra's gonna go on the road.
And Myra's
with
gonna
us.
go on the road with us as well.
So now I can just play drums next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be worrying, about, because you're always worried
Right.
when you're playing the drums about everything else. And now you can just focus on your instrument. So that'll be cool. So, well, thank you for this, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you all.